Pleasant good evening to everyone. Om Shanti. And a heartfelt welcome to all of you for joining another Monday Insight session, a space for peace, reflection, and spiritual growth. Tonight's theme is one that speaks deeply to the time we are living in, healing selves to heal the world. We reflect in a world that often feels chaotic, overwhelmed by sorrow, discontent, and inner conflict. But what if healing the world doesn't start with but what if healing the world doesn't start out here, but right here within ourselves? That's the insight we will be exploring tonight. And as we are on this journey, we are honored to have with us a very sweet, loving, and joyful sister who is no other than Sister Silvereen, a deeply experienced practitioner of Raj Yoga for the past 29 years. She currently serves as the director of the Brahma Kumari World Spiritual Organization of Venezuela and also has been recognized with the National Award for her outstanding work in community development and culture propagation in Trinidad and Tobago. So, as we all welcome, let us all feel comfortable, open our heart and mind, and prepare to be inspired by our sweet sister who will share her wisdom and insight with all of us. A pleasant Om Shanti and welcome to you, Sister Silvereen. Over to you with lots of love.
Thank you, Saraswati.
Most welcome.
According to our topic today, healing the self. In order to heal the world. So today we are seeing that there is a lot of sorrow and suffering and pain in our world. And we have the habit of always blaming someone else. So we say them, and them will say them. And so there is a blame game happening. But today we are going to take a look at who is really responsible. So healing the self. Many of us think or feel that because we do not have a physical ailment or a disease, that we are not ill. But illness, diseases, is even beyond the physical. Why do I say so? How many times we say that because of someone else, I am angry, I am upset. We continue to blame others for our state of mind. Someone might tell you something, say something, and then he or she goes their way. And here you keep in your mind what they said to you about you. Here you are upset, here you are angry with them, but they are not here in front of you to see your anger. So who is suffering? You are angry because someone said something to you. Who suffers? I am suffering. And the effect of this suffering spreads through our entire bodies. How does it work? If you throw a stone in a pool of water, from that point where that stone falls, naturally ripples of water will start flowing from there or emanating from there. It's called the ripple effect. Now, the same thing happens in us. Thoughts are energies. Every thought that we create are energies that we produce. And this energy, be it negative or positive, spreads through our entire body. This means that every cell in my body receives the effect of this thought. The effect of my every thought flows through my entire body. This means that every cell in my body receives the effect of that thought. What am I feeding my body with constantly? Because whatever I am feeding my body with naturally goes out into the atmosphere also. This is called vibration. Energies and vibrations is the same thing. We create a thought, we produce energy, we produce a vibration, and this goes out into the atmosphere. Even the five elements around us receives the effect of that thought. So what am I creating constantly? If we look at ourselves, let's say it's already the end of the day today, ask yourself, how many thoughts did I create today that were positive and how many were negative? Which one will be more? How many are negative and how many are positive? Which one is more? So what are we feeding our bodies with constantly? Negative energies or positive energies? If we feed our bodies with negative energies, the result will also be negative. So we all want to be healthy. Where would good health come from? There is a saying, healthy mind, healthy body. Healthy mind, healthy body. But what does it mean to have a healthy mind in order to have a healthy body? A healthy mind would mean a mind that is free from any kind of waste, any kind of negativity. Now, many people does not understand what is a negative thought. So if we don't understand what is a negative thought, then we will not even be aware that we are creating a negative thought. So we don't know what will be the result of this negative thought. So what is a negative thought? A negative thought would be a thought, any thought, that is being influenced by any one of the five vices. If my thoughts are influenced by my anger, then it is definitely a negative thought. So there is anger, there is greed, there is attachments, there is ego, there is lust, and there are so many others. So whenever my thoughts are being influenced by any one of these five vices, these thoughts would be a negative thought. So during the day, what kind of thoughts am I creating? And what would be the result of these thoughts? We know when we hear people complain about body aches, body paining, hair paining, somewhere is always paining. Any pain in the body, any discomfort in our bodies reflects pain in the mind. Any discomfort in your body is reflecting or showing that there is some pain in my mind. Now, what is a pain? I'm sure we would have all heard the word psychosomatic. So, there are psychosomatic diseases. Psychosomatic means psyche is the mind and the matic is the matter. Psychosomatic would mean that the effect our thoughts that we create in our minds are having on our bodies. Where is the pain coming from? The pain is not coming from outside. The pain is our creation. And pain is not only physical, because there are emotional pains also. There are mental pains also. There are spiritual pains also. And that is what leads to the physical pain. So psychosomatic diseases means the disease that we create in our minds. If we take a look and reflect inward, take a look at the state of our minds, we would realize that there are lots of things happening inside here that we are not aware of, but it is doing some harm within me. For example, many people bring from their past hurts, pains, sorrows, grief. We speak about emotional pain. So what would be an emotional pain? An emotional pain is grievance. To grieve is an emotional pain. An emotional pain is when we are suffering for the loss of our dear ones. Maybe mother, father, husband, even a child. We cannot get over that loss. So we grieve, and that is called emotional pain. There is mental pain. Mental pain is what we also create. And the mental pain would be pains that is based on what they say about me, what they did to me, how I am like this, they have me like this. We blame others. In the end, it is all our creation. Who is thinking? Does others make you think? No. Who is making you think? Who is the thinker? Who is the one creating the thought? They said something about you. What you did with what they said. Did you take it and put it inside here? And then you start churning on it? And then how you feel? You start thinking and thinking about what they said to you. They said it and they went. You take it and you put it inside here. And you start to mind it. And the more you give it thoughts, the more you give it energy, the more you give it attention, then days goes into weeks. Weeks become months and months become years, and you never forget that insult. They said it, they're gone, they forget. What you did with it? You put it inside and then you start feeding it. And the more you feed those insults, those hurts, those mental pains, then the bigger it becomes. Anything you are thinking about constantly gets bigger and bigger because you are giving it energy, you are giving it power. So, what it is, am I empowering constantly? What it is, am I giving energy to constantly? What it is, am I giving attention to constantly? Am I giving attention to what others say about me? Or am I giving attention to what I am creating after what they said about me? What is more important? What is more important to me and for me? What should be important to all of us is our peace of mind, nothing else. And if we have that as our priority, then no matter what someone say about me, I will never allow it to penetrate, to enter, much less to sustain that tone or that feeling. Our emotions, our feelings, our experiences are our creation. And it has nothing to do with what someone else say about me. So what we do is that we are carrying pain, emotional pain. We are carrying mental pains. Nowadays, we hear a lot about mental health. Lots of people are suffering from either insomnia. Insomnia means they are not able to sleep properly. They're not able to get proper rest. They are either suffering from panic attacks. They suffer from anxiety. They suffer from depression. And there are so many other mental ailments today. There are so many. And it seems as though there is no cure for them. The doctors do not have cure for them. Why? Because if they are created in the mind, then where will it get healed? If they are created in the mind, then where will it get healed? There is a saying that you cannot get healed from the same place where you get hurt. Do you understand that? You cannot get healed in the same place where you get hurt. This means that if the environment that you are in is an environment where you're not comfortable, an environment where you experience a lot of, who knows, mental, emotional traumas, then you cannot get healed in that same environment. And that's the reason why today there are so many hospitals. There isn't even enough space in the hospitals today. There are more hospitals. Why do we go to the hospital? To rest. Not only physically rest, to mentally rest also. Because we hear, there is also something called mental asylum. But how do we reach that point? Mental imbalance is nowadays it is very prevalent. People are losing control of their thoughts. They are not able to control their thoughts. And this is what is leading to a lot of mental imbalances. So what it is causes, let's say, depression or anxiety or even panic attack. Panic attack means that there is an attack of fear. Where is the fear coming from? Do you know the fear doesn't come from outside? The fear comes from the mind. It's my creation. I am creating that fear. Let's say you go out here and there is a rope on the ground. But because there is fear in the mind, my mind is telling me this is a snake. And if I feel or I create that thought that this is a snake, then what will be the other thoughts I will create? How many thoughts of fear I will be creating based on my assumption that this is a snake. Snake could bite me. What if it attack me? If it come after me? All these kinds of things. How much thoughts do I create based on one single situation? Endless thoughts. Now I am creating these thoughts of fear in my mind because I assume that that rope is a snake, but it is not. Where is the fear? Outside or inside? Why are we creating those fears inside? The simple fact that we create fear or we live in a fearful awareness constantly, it's because our minds are weak. So because we are weak, we are not able to understand situations as it is. We create a lot of assumptions in our minds. They said this about me. This is how they think about me. It generates fear also. People who are suffering from fear cannot rest in the night. They cannot sleep. And once you are not able to get proper sleep, then physically also you start getting ill. Whatever you create in the mind, always remember that whatever you create in the mind is what you naturally feed your bodies with. What am I feeding my bodies with constantly? People are suffering with nerves. There is nervous problems, nervous breakdown. Where is it coming from? Fear. Fear is what is damaging the nervous system. When the nervous system is damaged, then patients start to tremble. So they are all fear-based diseases. Where is the fear? Fear is a creation of the mind. One single thought of fear leads to many other thoughts of fears. And people are living in a lot of fear these days. Lots of fears. Fear, fear of getting ill, fear of losing your companion, fear of losing job, fear of not having enough to survive. There's so many fears. Is there anything we are not scared of? So many fears there are. Where is that energy going? It is going firstly in my body and then into the world. Whatever we create in our minds, all those thoughts, be it negative or positive, is what we naturally emanate and feed the elements with. My body is also made up of 5 elements. The body is also made up of 5 elements. And then we have the 5 elements of matter externally. So whatever we create inside is what we naturally emanate or feed the 5 elements with. And then these 5 elements, in turn, send back to us what we sent to them. Do you understand that? Now, how to empower the mind to be so strong that no matter if the world is going to fall, the sky is going to fall, I am not scared. So strong I should be. How to empower this thing called the mind. In Spanish, there is a word called mederi. Mederi means to heal or to cure. And from that word mederi comes the words médico. Médico is a Spanish word for doctor. And from that word médico comes the words medicine, medication, meditation. So whilst medication is supposed to heal us physically, meditation heals us emotionally, mentally, spiritually, as well as physically. And that's why the good saying, healthy mind, healthy body. How are you going to have a healthy mind in order to have a healthy body? So, meditation really is a healing process where I am able to use my thoughts in a positive way, in a pure way, in order to heal myself. Situations will come, will always come. The power to deal with these situations are important. Tests will come. No one can say that they don't have problems. Everyone has some kind of problem or the other. But when I empower myself through meditation, then I will have the ability, the power, the strength to handle what comes to me. If I do not have this strength, then whatever comes to me will consume me. We are consumed by problems. How do we get consumed by problems? Because we take it and we put it inside of us. Why do we take it? Because when the mind is weak, the mind is like a sponge that absorbs everything that comes to it. The mind is like a sponge that absorbs everything that comes to it. Anybody say anything, you take it and you put it inside. Anything happens, you go inside. It's like, birds, when they want to build a nest, they start looking for little pieces of straw and little pieces of dry sticks and twigs and so on. And one by one, they start putting it together. So every day, what we do, we put one thing, one insult, one criticism. Someone said this, you get hurt, you keep putting one thing inside of you. And just like the birds, they make their nest from one sticks. And then after their nest is built, they go and they start living inside it. So you take everything everybody says, you put it inside in your mind, and then you are brooding over it. You're thinking about what this one told me, I don't know how many years ago. This is what they said about me. And each time you see that person, you're bitter. You're not bitter with that person, you're bitter with yourself. You're not bitter with anyone, you're bitter with yourself because you did not know how to handle that one or what that one said about you. People will speak. We cannot stop people from speaking. People will act. We cannot stop them. Each one has their own behavior, their own nature, their own sanskars. I am not, or I should not, be that one to absorb whatever everybody is giving me. No. My priority should be my peace of mind. And no matter who say what, it stays there. I do not have to take it and put it inside of me. No. Each time you take an insult, you take some criticism, you take everything and you put it inside, what are you doing to yourself? Many people doesn't even know that even to complain is negativity. We complain, we compare, we criticize. All these are negativities. What are we doing constantly? There is a saying also that says, whatever you practice, you become perfect in that. So what are we becoming perfect in? What are we thinking of constantly? Is what we are practicing constantly. And what we practice constantly is what we are becoming perfect in. So what are we perfect in? Anything good? Anything positive? Whatever you are thinking constantly, you are giving energy to that. So illnesses, diseases, sicknesses are not only physical. It comes from a single thought. We speak to someone or someone speak to us. They speak in their way, however they speak it. We take it and we feel bad about it. And what we say, why do you speak like that? Why don't you speak little soft? Speak peacefully. And right here, I am absorbing. I am absorbing. Why am I absorbing? Because I am weak. But if I understand that that one who speaks rough, or speaks harsh, or speaks in the way he speaks, is also suffering, he or she is also suffering, we should understand that that one needs help. There is a saying that hurt people hurt others. Hurt people hurt people. Means if you are hurting inside, if you are hurting, what are you going to give to others? You are going to hurt also. You're going to give them pain also. You're going to give them sorrow also. So, in one way, everyone is ill. The moment you get upset, you get angry, you get irritated, you are ill. Because that hurt, that upset, that aggression, that anger that you are creating inside of you is doing damage to you. So, who can get you more sick than yourself? So, everybody is ill. Why? Because everybody suffers from a kind of anger. Everyone has some kind of egos. Everyone has some kind of greed. Everyone have attachment. Everyone suffer from something or the other. Once we are suffering from something or the other, whether it is emotional pain, mental pain, spiritual pain, we are ill. So is there anyone here who considers they are totally healthy? Anyone? Why are we not healthy? Our physical health is a reflection of our emotional health. Everything that your body reflects, everything that your body is experiencing reflects the pain in the mind. Who is creating the pain? No one can hurt you as much as you can hurt yourself. Do you know that? No one can hurt you. No one can give you pain as much as you can give yourself pain. There is a saying that says that only the rust of the iron can destroy the iron. Only the rust, the iron's own rust is what can destroy him. No one can destroy us as much as we can destroy ourselves. And how are we destroying ourselves? Through a single thought. One single thought of they hurt me, and for how long am I carrying that hurt? I can carry a hurt for years. So they hurt you once by telling you one thing. And for how long are you going to hurt yourself? Can anyone hurt you more than you hurting yourself? So these are reflection, these are things to reflect on and understand that whatever I create, first I experience it. Whatever I experience in my mind, my body, all the cells and the organs of my body also experience those hurts, those pains, those sorrows. And then this is what I naturally and automatically send into the universe. The universe is receiving it. And so whatever is coming back to me is what I had sent out into the universe. Who is to be blamed? Who is to be blamed if the sun is too hot? Who is to be blamed if there is earthquakes? Who is to be blamed if there are floods? Who is to be blamed if there are hurricanes? Who should be blamed? Them? Those people? We are all part of it. Because many people think that they are not doing anything to harm the planet. Or we are not manufacturing things and we are not emitting any kind of carbon dioxide. Physically, we are not doing anything. But what about mentally? What about emotionally? What about spiritually? Spiritually, am I so clean and pure in mind, in feelings and emotions that I am only sending peace to the world or love to the world? So, in some form or the other, we are also damaging the planet. Every single negative thought that we create is doing damage, firstly to us and then to the planet. So we should never be saying that it is them, the manufacturers. Why the manufacturers manufacturing so much? It's because we are consuming so much. Why are we consuming so much? Because we have either greed or we hoard. There is insecurity. Insecurity is also fears. So we buy a lot and put, so as we consume, they have to manufacture to supply us. So in some way or the other, through our greed, our ego, our angers, our attachments to things, we are also part of the damage. If we are damaged here, then what are we going to radiate into the world? Damage. Damage. Saraswati, you want to remind me of the timings?
Sister, what is it you said?
If you want to remind me of the timings,
Oh no, we have time.
okay, I can
It
continue.
is 7:15. We
So
can.
when we learn to meditate, we learn to become aware of our thoughts first. Meditation also starts awakening awareness, awakening the consciousness in such a way that each time I create a negative thought, I'm able to pull myself together and say, not this. No matter who say what, I am not going to take it and put it inside of my mind and keep it inside here and allow it to do damage to me. No. Awareness means that I'm so attentive to every thought that I create, understanding that every thought I create is producing energy, is producing a vibration, whether negative or positive, that is going into my body as well as to the planet. So what am I feeding myself with? So meditation is a healing process. When I begin to meditate, I begin to take a look at my inside, what is happening inside of me. And as I take a look at what is happening inside of me, I begin to see how I myself had hurt myself more than anyone else. Healing means, firstly, I am aware that something is not right. And if I am aware that something is not right, I also know that this is what I need to do to remove it, to heal it, to cleanse it, to get rid of it. Means I understand that every negative thought that I create is doing damage to me. From now, I'm not going to create a single negative thought again. On the contrary, I am going to only create such thoughts that is going to bring peace of mind to me. Peace should be my priority. And do you know the reason why we create these thoughts, these negative thoughts? Firstly, we are not aware that negative thoughts are doing damage. One. And secondly, if we love ourselves, if we love ourselves, then for no reason we would want to hurt ourselves. If we truly love ourselves, then there is never There is never any space to hurt myself. And as I mentioned before, that there isn't anyone else who can hurt you more than you hurting yourself. But if you really love yourself, you will never hurt yourself. And each time you create a negative thought, you are hurting yourself. So, how much do you love yourself? And there is also a saying that love heals. So, when you start loving yourself, start creating only pure, positive, peaceful, loving thoughts towards yourself, for yourself, then you will start healing. You could be taking medicines for some ailment. On one hand, you're taking medication for an ailment. But if your thinking, your thoughts are just as before you got ill, then what effect would these medications have on you? It's like, let's say someone not feeling well or he has a pain. Went to the doctor, and then doctor diagnosed him with cancer. Can you imagine the moment that patient hears that word cancer, what starts happening in his mind? Fear is number one. Then stress, then the tension, then the worry, then the anger. Why me? So now, before the cancer, he did not have all these amount of negative emotions, of fear, number one. Then the anger, then the stress, then the worry, then the tension, and there's so much. So on one hand now, he's going to take whatever kind of medical treatment. But on the other hand, there are all these stresses, all these fears, all these tensions, all these worries. I tell people who come to me with cancer that cancer don't kill. Cancer can be treated. Cancer don't kill. Do you know what kills? Fear kills. The worry kills. The tension kills. Anger kills. Resentment kills. Bitterness kills. Ailments don't kill. Diseases don't kill you. Because there is nothing more destructive than these negative thoughts that we are creating. Where are we? So can we say that we are healthy? Anyone in this class is so healthy that not even by mistake you create negative thoughts. Not even by mistake you are hoarding inside of you any kind of bitterness, any kind of hurt, any kind of resentment. Not even by mistake. What are we carrying? So I think we are going to have a meditation. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a commentary, but in the commentary, if we have the time, then we can take a look at in our inside and see what we are hoarding inside here, what we have inside of us that is until now giving us some kind of sorrow, some kind of pain, some kind of fear. We can take a look at that. So I think it's meditation time. I want to believe.
Om Shanti, Sister Silvereen. Welcome to Guyana. Thank you so much for sharing so deep. You are leaving a lot of powerful vibrations with us. Much thanks and appreciation.
So we do meditation commentary now.
You don't know who is talking to you.
Anybody wants to ask any question? We have some time. Anybody wants to ask
first
a
and then the
question?
meditation. Sorry. So any questions, you're free to ask.
No questions, Sister Silvereen, just a comment. Extremely important what you have shared today that many of us are experiencing daily. And I thank you with gratitude with your sharing and the techniques that we can improve on daily, not only for healing ourselves, but by extension the world. Thank you, thank you. I'm not sure if you heard me, Sister Silvereen. This is Joanne in Trinidad.
So if no questions, so shall we do some meditation?
Yes, we can surely.
So let's just sit back for a few minutes, sit comfortably. And as we sit in this quiet, comfortable space, let's disconnect our attention from everything external. And let's think about ourselves. And as we think about ourselves, let's take our attention to the center of the forehead. And with our attention in the center of the forehead, I observe the flow of my thoughts. I begin to observe my mind. And what I have stored in my mind. And I ask myself, am I carrying any kind of hurt, any kind of pains, any kind of emotional traumas? Take a look and see what I have stored within me. Because whatever I have stored in my mind will eventually reflect in my body in the form of some ailments, some pain, some disease. I begin to understand that all the symptoms of my body is showing me what I have in my mind. And as I recognize that I have been carrying bitterness, anger, fears, resentment, I now understand that these negative emotions is only doing damage to. And today I decide that I am going to let go of these negative emotions. I am going to let go of hurts. I am going to let go of pains. I am going to let go of any suffering that I have stored in my mind. Continue to take a look at what I have stored in my mind. Today I have decided that I am not going to keep, neither create a negative thought from today. From today I have decided to make my peace of mind my priority. Today I have decided to love myself to such an extent I am not going to create a negative thought towards myself. But from me, I am only going to emanate peace, love, and positivity. From time to time, I take back my attention to the center of the forehead and I look at myself.
Om Shanti once again. And thank you, sister, for that meditation. I guess everyone has healed their mind, their pain, and their suffering that is going on within. So meditation heals us, take away the fear from within us. But I want to ask one thing. Meditation will heal me because I know to heal myself through meditation. So how I go about helping someone healing them?
So there is a saying that charity begins at home.
Yes.
And this means when I am healed, I'll be able to share that with others. So if they are suffering and they are saying you are not suffering, they will ask you, might think, she is good, she is at peace, she is happy. How does she or what does she do? And there you get a chance to teach them from your own experience how you reach that stage. There is a saying that you cannot give what you don't have.
Yes.
You might be just like anyone else, but if you are trying to teach someone, but you are not that, what you are teaching, then even though you're trying to explain to them, it will not reach them.
Nice.
But once you are clean, you are clear, you are healthy, you are at peace, then when you speak to others from that source, then whatever you think, whatever you say, in that peaceful, that pure, that calm, that loving state of mind will definitely reach the other one. And that alone can help someone to come out of their suffering. Because if we are sick, then we cannot help others. Sickness is not only physical, sickness is even in the mind. So always remember, I cannot give what I don't have. If I am not at peace, I cannot teach someone how to be at peace. If I am not healthy, health is not only physical, then I cannot help others to be healthy.
Absolutely. Because that example with going to the doctor, everyone fears doctor is.
There is no medication for fear, you know. No medication for anger. There is no medication for bitterness.
Absolutely. Teach them to do meditation will help them to heal themselves. Thank you. So as we are celebrating this year, the anniversary in Guyana, celebrating Rajuga at our main center. This program is part of it too, because we heal ourselves so that we can be healing the world. So thank you for sharing those wonderful insights to help us heal ourselves first. Then we can help heal the world. And thank you for that lovely meditation too, which empowers the mind with that health and strength to go forward in this world. Lots of love and peace and happiness. We're indeed thankful to have you. Om Shanti. Looking forward for another session sometime. Thank you for all those insights. Getting rid of the fear from within. With a pleasant good night to everyone. Please join next week for another session. You can open your mic and say thank you or your window and give a wave to our
Oh,
sweet sister.
thank you.
sister. Thank you to everybody. Good night, everyone.
Shanti, and thank you, Sister Silvereen, for such an amazing session.
Thank you,
Thank
Sister Silvereen. Thank you very much. It was very good.
Thank you very much, Sister Silvereen. This is from Vidya. Thank you very much. Om Shanti.
So Ahelia, nice to see you.
Good to see you too. You're just our neighbor now, Venezuela. Good.
This was beautiful. Thank you, Sister Silvereen.